I didn't want to talk about this project yet, but now we're going to go ahead and get into it. Let's go. What's up, sons? It's Blind Red with Son of a Tech once again, and a few weeks ago I discovered this project called Rethereum. Now, Rethereum is an interesting project in that it's supposed to be a restart of the Ethereum blockchain, and this means that it will carry over all of the good and all of the bad from where proof of work stopped. Now, the thing I was most excited about when this was announced was that the hashing algorithm was modified with Blake 3 to allow for natural progression of the chain from CPU mining to GPU mining. However, upon further investigation, I did find that they never patched out the Uncle Maker blocks, which meant that essentially the pools could manipulate the chain and basically start to earn more than other pools, right? And private pools could be built to do this as well. So I kind of took a step back and didn't address this project right off the bat until I got confirmation from the development team that this was going to be addressed. And they have released a short-term roadmap and goals that is going to address this. So this roadmap in particular has these things written down on it, and this was released on August 24th. Addressing Uncle Maker issue patch. The previously identified Uncle Maker issue has been resolved and is scheduled for incorporation within the 1.12 release. This update holds significance as it contributes to the heightened security of our network. So bravo to the team there, finding a fix for it and getting ready to implement that in the next release. So I'm definitely now a lot more bullish on this project than I was previously. In this version, they are going to also encompass the necessary Uncle Maker patches alongside an array of bug fixes and general improvements. Notably, this release will introduce the light sync capability, which makes great strides towards improving user experience. Now, hopefully they don't mess this up like other chains have in the past, like Caspa, for example, in this particular case, because a light sync node involves more than likely some sort of pruning that will be involved there. So just keep that in mind. I'll be keeping an eye on that and let you guys know how that process goes through once 1.12 is launched. They are having some website improvements as well. It goes on to say our official website is poised to or for a comprehensive overhaul that greatly improves user experience and introduces enriched Web3 features. This transformative upgrade will empower users to seamlessly interface with our network through acclaimed wallets like MetaMask, engage in RTH token swaps, and harness the potential of decentralized applications within our ecosystem. Some of the awesome things that are going on here is obviously going to be complete compatibility with EVM, giving developers another option outside of Ethereum Classic for a proof of work alternative to Ethereum. From the GPU mining side, I am curious how things will move forward because obviously this is primarily a GPU mining focused channel. And even though the algorithm is slightly modified here, I've seen some indications of FPGAs on the network, which would mean that eventually we could see the ASICs that are programmed for ETC as well as ET hash move on to this network. And in that case, it's really going to put a dampener on the availability to GPU miners for this particular project. But as it sits right now, if you're a GPU miner, this is something to go ahead and take a look at. They're going to be doing a Discord bot overhaul. I'm not too interested in that. And they are introducing Caldera tipping feature. The Caldera team has implemented a Discord tipping feature that's going to be all part of sort of the Discord bot overhaul. Not super stoked on that. It is what it is. Enhanced network resilience. Now, our commitment to network reliability, they go on to say, will be underscored by establishing a backup RPC server. Concurrently, they seek to promote decentralized decentralization by encouraging community members to initiate and manage their public RPC nodes, thereby enhancing the network's overall resilience and autonomy. So this is a good thing as well for network resilience. And then finally, they have the announcement for the cross-chain bridge development. It goes on to say that we are establishing a cross-chain bridge catering to various EVM compatible chains. We are prioritizing to bridge to Polygon, which I think is a fantastic first choice, which will facilitate cross-chain transfers of RTH and Matic tokens. The bridge will enable interoperability with a spectrum of decentralized applications flourishing within the Polygon ecosystem, while broadening the scope of possibilities for our test users. As far as tokenomics go, for specifically for cross-chain, etc., I do want to issue a warning from the mining perspective. You want to mine, generate that revenue you can, and stick to the base token. This is going to protect you the most from any sort of scams or rug pulls. Remember, anytime we see an ETH hash fork, we see a token related to it, and that is usually when some sort of rug pull happens on the token side of things, on the tokenized asset part of things, in the liquidity pools, etc. Flora chain is a great example of this. So from my mining perspective strategy, I am not going to be participating in this. However, it is a well-known chain with Polygon, so it's a little bit different than running on their own chain, etc. But you just want to be extremely careful with that. There is liquidity mining potential there, because you will have that ability to basically liquidity mine the bridge, and that could be a potential for additional revenue. But you want to be very careful, because usually with those, that is the quickest way to also lose your investments as well. So just be careful with any kind of cross-chain bridging, liquidity options, etc. I don't foresee that being necessarily an issue here, because it does look like they are paying attention to the community. IoT API, who runs the Viper pools at viper.net, had brought this up on the initial release. It got some pushback initially, and then finally they did go ahead and move forward with making these changes, which is why in turn, I'm bringing this project to y'all's attention. Now, as far as the pool distribution goes right now, it's not fantastic. There is 35% of the hash rate on Crazy Pool. And really here, the biggest thing that I found out from the Crazy Pool hash rate is that there was a large, massive pool or miner on this particular pool early on. It looks like a lot of it's gone. Nope, it's still here. So this one with the massive amount of gigahash, 300 gigahash. This is the one where I was looking at and going, well, are we looking at a large GPU farm here where we're talking about CMP 175s on each of these rigs, or are these individual FPGAs? And that is really where I have the question. Let me know what you guys think this is, more than likely down in the comment section below. This is obviously going to be a huge impact on the network if FPGAs are already available for it from, Allfather or whoever it may be. Just something to keep in mind. Moving on from there, I think what you would want to look at is from the GPU mining perspective, your most efficient GPUs are going to be the RX 6800. This is going to be using the hashrate.no website for the benchmarks. The RX 5700 XT comes in second place. Obviously, you can see why I'm mining it, because you guys know for a majority of my farm, I run 5700 XTs. And so I'm super stoked on this. It would be great to phase them out for 6800 XTs in the next year or two. But for now, these are pretty much cranking away. And in third place, you have the 6600 XT, with fourth, the 6600. Now, I really like the 6600s in hotter environments because they only use a single 8-pin, and they seem to run in the hottest temperatures possible here in Texas in my warehouse with no ventilation. So I do like the 6000 series, or the 6600s in particular, for this. And I think they may be a better play than even the 6800s. After some time, I have noticed that my 5700 XT's efficiencies go down since the past 3 or 4 years that I've had them running, just because they've been running for so long. long and hot temperatures. So something to keep in mind. My 6600s, they run all day, no problem, all the time. They're pretty fantastic, and they really don't take much modification or overclocking to keep going. So I really like those in particular. So there you have it, guys. I am really interested in this project. A couple of side notes that I'm down on in particular. One is going to be that ET hash forks have turned into scams in the past more frequently than not. I also am not a fan of the name from the perspective of advertising and PR, that sort of thing on that side, because people are going to see Ethereum and just think, A, scam, or B, they're going to think, oh, just another copy of Ethereum. And I think that that is going to be a hindrance in the adoption of the coin in general. It's got so many other competitors, from Ergo to Ethereum Classic and so on. What will it do to really set itself apart outside of adding the Blake 3 hashing algorithm to ET hash? I don't know at this point. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you're curious on price right now, the price is down. It is, I believe, let's go ahead and pull this up just so that we do not get this wrong. You can trade it on ZEGX, and I believe it's pretty low. Yeah, we're at 19 cents right now. And so on ZEGX, and actually some actual buy orders only at 17 cents. It is fairly new, so you can see that it is extremely volatile with strong spikes up and spikes down. There is not a lot of volume on these exchanges. That will take time because the block reward is only 4. And so it's going to take a lot of time to spin up the amount of volume needed to really stabilize that price. Thanks for watching. Hit the like, comment, subscribe, and notification bells down below. And if you are interested in me doing a how to mine this, let me know. I do have my rigs spun up and mining RTH, so I can give you guys the rundown on that. I'm just using SRB Miner version 2.3.4, and the pool is not actually available for you guys for me to go ahead and talk about it this time. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and hit one of the other pools over at miningpoolstats.com. We'll cover this in a later video as well. I will see you next Tuesday.